What if every moment of your life, every triumph, every failure, every love, and every regret was destined to play out again and again, forever? No edits, no do-overs. Just an endless loop of the life you're living right now. Would you embrace it with open arms, or would the thought send shivers down your spine? This is Nietzsche's idea of eternal return. Not just a theory, but a challenge. One that forces you to ask, are you living a life you'd be willing to relive for eternity? Or is it time to change the way you live before the cycle begins again? Friedrich Nietzsche, one of history's most daring thinkers, posed a question that shakes the very foundation of how we live. Imagine this: every single moment of your life, every choice, every regret, every fleeting joy, repeating endlessly with no escape. Sounds unsettling, doesn't it? But Nietzsche's idea of eternal return isn't just a mind-bending thought experiment. It's a challenge. He's not asking us to debate the nature of time. He's asking us to live as if this were true. To look at our lives and ask, would I be willing to relive this existence exactly as it is, forever? It's not about fate, it's about how we choose to live. If the thought of repeating your life eternally fills you with dread, what does that say about the way you're living now? Imagine waking up one day to a shocking realization. Every single moment of your life, every joy, every heartbreak, every fleeting decision will repeat forever. The laughter, the victories, the love you felt, yes, those will return, but so will the pain, the regrets, the nights spent wondering if you made the right choices. No escape, no second chances, just an endless cycle, playing out exactly as it did before. At first, the thought might seem unbearable. Who would want to relive their worst mistakes, their deepest losses, over and over again? The heartbreak that once shattered you, the failures that made you doubt yourself. Imagine facing them, not just once, but infinitely. If your life, as it is right now, was to be repeated for eternity, how would you feel? Would the thought fill you with pride or dread? But Nietzsche didn't propose eternal return to torment us. He wasn't trying to trap us in a never-ending loop of suffering. Instead, he offered it as a challenge, a way to measure the life we are living. Because if the idea of reliving your life forever feels like a curse, then perhaps something needs to change. What if, instead of fearing the cycle, we embraced it? What if we lived so boldly, so fully, that we could welcome an eternity of our own existence? Nietzsche's question is not about whether time actually works this way. It's about whether you are living in a way that makes life worth reliving. So ask yourself, if today, right now, was a moment you'd experience again and again for all eternity, would you be at peace with it? And if not, what are you waiting for? This isn't about escaping time, it's about embracing it. Nietzsche doesn't offer a way to outrun suffering, nor does he promise a perfect, painless existence. Instead, he presents us with a radical challenge. Can you say yes to life? Not just to its joys, but to its sorrows, its struggles, its uncertainties. Can you accept every moment, knowing that each one is essential to the story of who you are? When we ask ourselves if we would be willing to relive our lives forever, we're not just pondering the nature of time, we're confronting a deeper question. Who are we? How would you live if you knew that every action, every decision would ripple through eternity? Would you take more risks, love more fiercely? Would you stop hesitating, stop waiting, stop living as though your days were endless? Nietzsche's eternal return isn't about chasing perfection. It's not a demand to live without mistakes, nor is it an excuse to seek suffering. Instead, it dares us to live so fully, so authentically, that we could look at our lives, flaws, regrets, and all, and still say, yes, this, exactly as it is worth reliving. And that's the real challenge. If you were given the power to live this life exactly as it is forever, what would you do differently? Would you waste time, or would you cherish it? Would you let fear dictate your path, or would you take control of your own fate? The clock keeps turning. The question remains, are you living a life worth repeating? At the heart of Nietzsche's idea of eternal return lies another powerful concept, amor fati, the love of fate. To Nietzsche, the highest form of human strength isn't about escaping hardship or chasing comfort. It's about embracing everything, the joys, the struggles, the heartbreaks, as essential parts of your existence. The eternal return isn't meant to be a curse. It's an invitation, a challenge. a call to stop resisting life and instead love it, not just when it's easy, but in its entirety. Because when you truly love your fate, you stop wishing things were different. You stop fighting against the past. Instead, you begin to see that every moment, every triumph, every failure has shaped you into who you are. And that realization, it's liberating. So ask yourself, if you could fully embrace your life just as it is, would you be able to say yes to living it forever? Nietzsche's question isn't about the mechanics of time, it's about how you live within it. It's about creating a life you would be proud to relive over and over without hesitation. Because when you truly accept your fate, when you embrace every second with open arms, that's when you start to live. But the eternal return isn't just a call to embrace life, it's also a confrontation with the deepest shadows of our existence. It doesn't just ask us to love our fate, it demands that we face the parts of ourselves we'd rather forget. If your life were to repeat forever, could you truly accept your mistakes, your failures, your regrets? Could you bear to relive every missed opportunity, every moment of doubt, every wound you've inflicted or endured? The idea is unsettling because it forces us to acknowledge a painful truth. There is no escape from who we are. But Nietzsche's challenge isn't about drowning in regret, it's about reconciliation. Can you make peace with your past? Can you look at every moment, even the painful ones, and say, this too is mine? The eternal return is a test, not of perfection, but of acceptance. Because if we can embrace everything, the beauty, the suffering, the victories, the losses, we liberate ourselves from the weight of regret. And that's where true freedom lies. Nietzsche doesn't offer us an eternity of suffering. He offers us an opportunity to affirm life, to reclaim every part of it, to own our existence without hesitation. In that affirmation, we don't just endure life, we transform it. We find meaning, and in that meaning, we discover the strength to live fully, fiercely, and without fear. The eternal return isn't about fearing time. It's about embracing it. It's not a warning, it's an invitation. It doesn't ask what you wish you could change. It asks how you will choose to live right now. If you had to relive your life exactly as it is, would you want to change anything? Would you be bolder, take more risks, speak your mind without hesitation? Would you love more deeply, cherish each moment, stop waiting for a future that never truly arrives? Nietzsche's challenge isn't about regret, it's about awakening. It's a call to live with intensity and purpose, to stop letting time slip away unnoticed, to act as if every second matters, because it does. The eternal return isn't about chasing a perfect life. It's about embracing life fully, just as it is, flawed, fleeting, and beautiful. It dares you to say yes to existence, not just but for forever. So the question remains, can you say yes to your life? Can you embrace every moment, not just the joyful highs, but the painful lows? Can you accept your triumphs and your failures, your moments of greatness and your deepest regrets? Can you live in such a way that if your life were to repeat forever, you would welcome it rather than fear it? Nietzsche's eternal return isn't just a thought experiment, it's a daring challenge, a call to live with such intensity, such authenticity that you would willingly relive every second, not because it was perfect, but because it was yours.